This week on the show, we talk controversy with cannabis commercials, what I hate about going to the airport, and is there really a difference between medical and recreational cannabis? We debate in just a moment. My name's Tim Strommel. Welcome to Rooted. Welcome to the show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are, and don't forget to check out our social accounts at Stay Rooted across the board. And if you have feedback for the show, be sure to jot it down on a piece of paper and fax it over to us. Okay, here's the fax number. It can be found at 1-800. I know you don't have a fax machine, so keep all your complaints to yourself. Okay, hope you got that number. So recently I heard an argument between two respected industry friends in regards to the idea of medical versus recreational cannabis. One saying all cannabis is medical, and the other saying that recreational cannabis is something different entirely. So I figured, why don't we debate it on this week's Two Sides? On one hand, I think you can have two separate systems because I view medical cannabis and recreational cannabis differently. Since cannabis is full of naturally occurring molecules that blend differently in every strain, it would make sense that some strains are better suited for combating certain medical issues, right? Like epilepsy or pain management, for example. While other strains offer fewer specific health benefits and are more useful as a recreational psychedelic than a specific medical application. Plus, this allows you to catalog the mindset of an individual user to that of someone looking for medical relief of an ailment versus someone who just wants to get stoned and play video games with their friends. Both equally important, but they're different. Obviously, the market is more complicated than that, and it's hard to ballpark every type of cannabis consumer into either medical or recreational. However, there are enough seriously ill patients consuming cannabis to know the medical market is real, and there are enough stoners who just like to smoke and hang out to know the recreational market is real. So it's important to have two different markets because medical patients aren't choosing to be sick, therefore they shouldn't have to pay as much to access their medicine if that's the medicine they're choosing to incorporate into their treatment. On the other hand, I think all cannabis is medical, and most of the people who consume cannabis are taking it for a medical reason, even if they don't know it. Myself, for example, I don't have any real medical conditions that would warrant my cannabis use as medicinal, but it is something therapeutic for me that helps me relax, unwind, or even fall to sleep when I can't stop thinking about work. We've all been there, right? And some would call that a medical use because my goal isn't the high, but rather the end effect of some sort of relief, making it medicinal. And I think that's why anyone really consumes cannabis, be it to lower their anxiety, relax after work, or apply it for a more specific medical issue. The fact that cannabis interacts with the body's existing endocannabinoid system, providing a range of impacts to people either sick or healthy, is medicinal. And the plant doesn't change. No matter what you're consuming it for, medicinal or recreational reasons, the plant doesn't care why you're taking it. That being said, if the cannabis plant provides positive health benefits that address your specific needs, and I'm not making any medical claims here, I'm just saying that if that's what happens for you, but it addresses your need and you take it because of that need, then following that logic, you would have to say that all cannabis is medical. We're just splitting it down the middle so we can tax it differently and sell it differently depending on the intention of the user, which is another interesting conversation in itself, but one we'll save for another day. So what do you think? Is all cannabis medical, or do you think there is a real distinction between medical and recreational cannabis? Shoot us a message on Twitter at StayRooted and we'll share our favorite responses in a future show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show where it's time for my favorite segment in every episode, and that's Whine of the Week, where there's no rules, no standards, and no real relevancy to the cannabis space. It's just us complaining about whatever rubs us the wrong way. So be careful, you might be next. This week, I want to complain about something that everyone has to deal with, and that is the pickup and drop off at the airport. Amen, right? Can I get an amen, somebody? Let's start with the drop off. Terrible. We've all been there. You pull up to the airport exit and you think you have your right terminal picked out, and then A, You nailed it. And now you can move on to phase 2, which is letting the person out of the car while trying to avoid a deathly car accident everywhere you turn, and let's be honest. Or B, you accidentally, like me, go to the wrong terminal and you're at departures instead of arrivals, or you're on the wrong side of the freaking airport altogether, so you gotta call up your buddy and you gotta say, oh, and I missed my turn, I'll be back and I'll be around in probably another 15 minutes. Hang out. Whew. Let's say you found the right terminal, okay? You found that little small sign that says Southwest, because let's be honest, bags fly free, and the idea of paying for bags on another airline like 50 bucks a bag is freaking ridiculous. So you begin to pull up to the drop-off location only to find it's absolute chaos. People stopping in the middle of the lane to let somebody out. People boxing in other people. People pulling out while you're trying to pull in. And there's a guy on your ass honking for you to move forward as if there aren't another 100 cars freaking in front of you. Man, and people are getting into cars like you're in the arrivals area instead of the departures drop-off area. Yeah, I see you, okay? You think you're gaming the system, but you're the reason I almost get into a car accident every time I go to the airport. The real mind-blowing part of this is the amount of technology that's been implemented once you get inside of the airport is great. But it's like a war zone trying to navigate the drop-off in that it's every person for themselves. Once you pull up to the pickup or drop-off lanes, all courtesy, all humanity goes out the window, and the only true mission is to think about your loved one and getting them to the airport or picking them up. Now, I've been flying for over 2 decades. This has never changed. It's like the airport sucks, but no one can figure out a solution. Don't mention picking someone up that is just as bad, because now you're trying to navigate the gauntlet of vehicles while on the phone with the person you're trying to pick up. Yeah, where are you now? I'm on the 4th level standing next to a payphone and a guy in cargo shorts. That's not good clues. Okay, awesome. I'll look for those 2 random clues while trying to avoid a car accident and the guy who's constantly telling people to leave the pickup area. I'm there to pick someone up. Don't tell me to leave. You're not helping anyone, guy. I know I'm not supposed to park here, but if you make me do another lap around this freaking airport, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind, okay? I'm gonna post them. Not to mention that as soon as I peel off and do another forced lap, I see my friend in my rearview mirror coming out to the curbside. It's like, sorry buddy, Captain, take my job too seriously. He's making me go around again. Time to hit the reset button on this entire process. Can someone please come up with something to solve this? Please, world, help me out. So what do you think about pickups and drop-offs at the airport? Or do you have a Whine of the Week you want us to cover? Tweet your responses to @StayRooted and we'll pick our favorite responses for the show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Time now for a segment called I've Seen Every Scary Movie on Netflix, because we know you spend hours trying to figure out what to watch, and let's be honest, there are a ton of crappy movies out there and you can easily find yourself making a bad decision on what to watch. So like a good wingman in a bar, we figured we would jump on the grenade for you so you don't get stuck with the dud. I know, super nice of us, okay? This week we ventured off Netflix again because, like we've said, we've seen every scary movie on Netflix, and we rented Slender Man on Redbox. Like most scary movies I watch these days, I went in with my expectations set as low as possible. Super important if you want to enjoy the movie. Fortunately for me, if you watch this movie, Slender Man delivers on a couple of fronts as a quality scary movie. Let me tell you about it. The movie starts off with these 4 teenage girls who are all high school friends, which can already be a nightmare depending on your high school experience. Anyways, these girls are at a slumber party or a sleepover, I guess. I don't know what you call it. That's what you called it when you were a kid, but I don't know what high school girls call it because I've never been a high school girl. So, slumber party, how about that? Anyways, the girls find out the guys that they're super crushing on are supposedly watching this video that, when you watch it, summons the Slender Man. So they're like, okay, if the guys can do it, so can we. Now, the Slender Man itself isn't a new monster or demon or whatever you call it, and this isn't the first time it's been the subject of a movie, so these girls already kind of appear to have an idea of who or what a Slender Man is. They debate on watching it while you're sitting on the couch like, do it, watch it, we want the movie to begin. Anyways, they watch it, it's creepy as and they're immediately spooked, okay? Long story short, the craziness immediately starts to go down. One of the girls goes missing, another one goes insane, and the other two girls are seeing visions of the Slender Man everywhere they look. They look out the window. Slender Man. They're making out with their dude. Slender Man. One chick's taking a dump. Slender Man. Okay, the last one didn't really happen. But this guy's like the Ryan Seacrest of demons, okay? He's everywhere you look, and no matter how much you pray, you'll never see his face again. He's right there, right? Such a Seacrest. So the movie progresses like most scary movies with a haunt or a demon. One person figures it out and no one believes them until it's too late, which I'll never do, by the way. If you tell me that you're haunted, you're seeing a ghost, or you're cursed in any fashion, I've seen too many scary movies to not immediately believe you and either help if I can, or more likely, run away with you if I'm not involved yet. It's too late for you, but there's still time for me. So the demon is scary enough, the movie moves along, although kind of predictably, and the conclusion is so-so, but good enough to sit through despite leaving you feeling like there was a little bit of more meat on the bone, okay? Maybe more. All in all, I would give this movie a watch as the production value's there, the acting's there for the most part, and there are a couple of frights that will make your butt jump out of the seat. Just go into it with low expectations and you'll be fine. And don't forget, tweet us at StayRooted, let us know what you thought of the movie, and maybe your responses will make it in a future show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. This week on the Rooted podcast, we caught up with Danny Keith, the founder and CEO of Cannabis Club TV, the leading in-dispensary entertainment platform for the cannabis space. Danny joins the show to share some big new announcements about CCTV, what the future of the company looks like, and we discuss a handful of hot topics in the cannabis space, like the issue of banning cannabis advertisements. Here's a sneak peek. Your thoughts on the commercial that CBS didn't want to air. Now, they didn't ban it, but they didn't want to air the commercial that became a big controversy. What was your thought on that issue?
Well, you know, Acreage probably got the best form of viral media that they could ever want. You know, if you're a marketing person, you almost want CBS to refuse your ad because, like, for example, we picked it up on our network and ran it for free, and we're still running it. You know, it's a big reason why we're in this space. Again, John Boehner sits on Acreage's board, kind of an interesting space to have a guy who was, you know, more or less against the cannabis movement now is a big proponent of it. You know, I think there's enough fear in the space still where, you know, when you have real assets that the government can go after, you're going to be afraid of extending yourself. However, it's funny, right? CBS also owns a pleasure amount of billboards throughout the state of California and other states. They have no problem running those cannabis ads on those billboards. So I just think we're still in a space, Tim, where people don't have a full comprehension of what we're all about. And it's unfortunate that CBS chose not to air that commercial, but at the same time, it kind of plays into the hands of the cannabis space. So Acreage got a lot of burn off that. I mean, everybody was talking about it. And so you can't lose with that situation. It was a heavy commercial. It's one of the main reasons why I am willing to be out of the cannabis closet with my status is because I believe in the medicinal side of it. And I've seen it help such a plethora of people that it's really that's what Cannabis Club TV is all about, is to tell stories like that.
Head over to iTunes, SoundCloud, or StayRooted.com to listen or download podcast episodes. Also, do us a favor and leave us a review so we can continue to grow the show because you're awesome and you love us. Thank you so much. Time now to share with you some of our favorite and least favorite things of the week. Let's go ahead and kick it off positive as we always do, as a new study debunks the idea that a legal cannabis system leads to an increase in youth cannabis consumption. That's right. For years, anti-cannabis lobbyists, who are terrible by the way, have claimed that legalizing cannabis would greatly increase teen use, but researchers now say that states with medical cannabis laws had a 1.1% fewer rate of teenage cannabis smokers than states without such laws. How credible is the study? Well, researchers gathered data from 1999 to 2015, including over 850,000 students. Furthermore, the longer the legal medical cannabis system has been on the books, the lower the rate of teenage cannabis users gets, according to the study. Now, you can go see the study for yourself. It's easy to find, but I just had to mention this as a favorite thing of the week because anytime I can do my part to debunk claims made by marijuana madness propaganda, it would be a disservice to you as a viewer of this show if I didn't do it. Of course, who knows if this data is 100% accurate? We all know you can manipulate data to fit just about any conclusion you want, not to mention the teens reporting could just lie about their use. Oh, teens lie? What? So of course, there are researchers who oppose and question the study, but for me, I'm feeling like it's a positive thing. So I'm gonna view it that way. It's positive. Now something we're not so excited about, or at least we have mixed emotions about, as a sports apparel store in Colorado Springs was forced to shut down after it pulled all Nike products from the shelves when Nike's advertisement and support of Colin Kaepernick was released late in 2018, last year. You remember the believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything advertisement, right? Well, it turns out the store simply couldn't deal with the lost revenue that came from this move because Nike produces the majority of the most sought after jerseys in professional sports. Bye-bye profits, right? Now, I hate to see anyone lose their business, but when you alter your business strategy to satisfy your personal politics, or you try to make a point and it pisses off your client base, well, more often than not, you're gonna pay a price and I'm not gonna feel bad about your bad decisions, okay? Am I sad the store's going out of business? I'm not. But am I sad that this is a terrible misrepresentation of what Colin Kaepernick and his supporters are trying to do? Yeah, I mean, the store owner said it was his respect for the military that made him stop selling Nike. Well, Cap wasn't protesting the military. In fact, the idea to kneel came from his conversation with a US Army vet who told him it would be an appropriate way to express his protest. So, in reality, you're saying that you oppose this to support some people who are helping to support Colin Kaepernick. Makes no sense. In the end, Nike's advertisement with Cap said you should believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Well, I guess technically that's exactly what this guy did. He believed in something and it cost him everything. So perhaps he has more in common with Colin Kaepernick than he thought. Okay, ending on a positive note like we always do, baby. If you live out in Colorado, then you know the union teachers in Denver recently went on strike, and this show, of course, has no place in educational politics, so we're not weighing in except to say, go get them, teachers! Go get yours! But a big cannabis brand is making news as the Kind Love dispensary is selling 1 cent eighths, 1 penny for an eighth, to striking Denver teachers. Kind Love's chief brand officer said, "We try to do what we can when we can, and for us, this is the easiest way that we can support them." It's also worth noting that Kind Love also offers a penny eighth for veterans on Veterans Day. That's crazy. And they're doing it for any strain on the shelves, including top shelf. So hats off to Kind Love for doing what they can to help a good cause. Those are our favorite and least favorite things of the week. Which one did you like or dislike the most? Or do you want to share your favorite thing with us? Hit us up on Twitter @StayRooted and let us know your thoughts. Okay? That's going to do it for us on the show. Big thanks to our friends over at Cannabis Club TV and High Times TV for continuing to air our show. My name's been Tim Stromble, and I'll remind you one more time to work hard, be humble, and stay rooted.